We'll start in a comfortable seated position. Come to the center of your mat. You can cross your legs. You can sit on a block. You can always use a cushion to help elevate your hips if that makes you more comfortable. Actually, let me go ahead and do that for myself. Yeah, that feels really nice. I invite you to close your eyes so that you can really start to sense what's going on in your body and your mind. Lengthen your spine. Relax your shoulders. Hands resting on thighs. Start to notice your breath. Maybe notice how your breath has been affected by what's happened in your day before you landed on your mat. Start to find the breath pace that's right for you, that's right for what you need in this moment. Not too fast, not too slow. We'll take a deep, full breath in. Exhale it out. Another deep, full breath in. Exhale the breath out. I invite you to try equalizing your breath, making your inhales the same length as your exhales. Inhaling for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can continue to go with this breath pace, but if it feels too agitating or it's not for you today, then find the breath pace that's right for you. A breath that will sustain you, that will nourish you, that will bring you back into balance whenever you're feeling anxious or tired, or just need to find a place of more balance and ease. One more full deep breath in, and we'll all meet on an exhale. You can open your eyes and come to lying down. Legs stretched out long, resting onto the mat. Reach your arms above you. Feel that long body stretch. Taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, squeeze your knees into your chest, arms wrapped around the knees. Maybe lift the head and the shoulder blades, but if that's too much strain on your neck, you can keep your head down. Inhale, extending your limbs, getting big onto the mat. Exhale, drawing everything in. Once more. Inhale, extending out, taking up space. Exhale, drawing everything in. And then release. Arms return back to your sides. Take a deep, full breath in here. Exhale it out. We'll come onto our bellies here, onto the mat. And we'll help our shoulders a little bit here. So stretch your right arm out long, and then you're going to gently roll your body over that right shoulder. It might feel a little bit awkward, but don't judge it. Just observe as you arrive in this pose. And now you're lying onto your right hip, the right outer edge of your leg here, and then your top leg, which is your left leg, can be bent, and the foot can be placed flat onto the floor. And then with this top arm, your left arm, you can either place it just outside or next to your chest, or if you're feeling flexible in your shoulders, you can start to move and reach that left arm back and see where it lands. So what I'm feeling here is a pretty deep stretch in my right shoulder. Maybe you're noticing it there, maybe you're noticing it somewhere else. Just breathe here. One more full breath in. And exhale, reverse, come out of it the same way you came in. Be gentle with yourself here, rolling back onto your belly. Left hand back onto the left side of your mat. And I'll just get over here a little bit so I don't run into the door. Next, you can extend your left arm out next to you, placing your left ear to the mat. Roll onto your left hip, left outer edge of your left leg, and then your right leg reaches behind you. Bend the knee and land your foot onto the floor wherever it may fall. Top arm, your right arm can land in front of your chest right here, or you can reach back with that arm. Maybe it lands next to your lower back. If it's feeling intense, breathe into the intensity. Remember, your breath is always accessible to you. Send it to the spaces that feel tight. Inhale. Exhale. exhale, rolling back onto your belly. And just take a pause here. Forehead can be on the mat. Arms by your side. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Lift your forehead, lift your chin. Bend into your right leg. And then take your right arm, your right hand, grab a hold of the inner edge of that right foot. And then use that right foot to kick into your hand. And maybe that helps you lift your chest, lift your thigh off of the mat. The left arm can reach out long in front of you. Keep kicking the foot into that hand, engaging your quad, engaging that hip. And then exhale, gently release back onto the mat. Arms by your sides. Left ear resting onto the mat. Bend into the left leg. Using the left hand, take a hold of the inside of that left foot. Right arm reaches out long. Take the left foot into the left hand with your thigh lifting off of the mat, chest lifting off of the mat. Keep kicking that left foot into that left hand. On your next exhale, gently release your entire body onto the mat. Arms by your sides, this time placing your right ear onto the mat. Now let's come into tabletop position, hands and knees onto the mat, coming onto all fours. Somehow I got flipped, so pardon me while I turn around towards the front. And we'll get some spinal movement going here. So arch that lower back, drawing the shoulder blades back, making a smile shape with your spine. And as you exhale, push the belly button towards the spine, arching the upper back, rainbow shape with your spine. Inhale into your cat. Exhale. Sorry, that was cow. Exhale into your cat. Inhale into your cow. Exhale into your cat. See if you can find some fluidity within these two movements as you flow with your breath. You're also linking your breath to that movement. And so you can imagine your spine like a wave undulating up and down. Very fluid motion, not unlike the waves of the ocean. As you inhale, arching into your cow, exhale, arching into your cat. Very good. Okay, very good. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, and kick your heels back to plank, straightening your legs. Engage your core here. Maybe rock back and forth on those toes. If this bothers your wrists, you can always come down into a forearm plank onto your elbows. And then on your next inhale, step that right foot forward between the hands. Back leg is engaged. And then reach up with your right arm. Easy twist over that right knee. back to center. Step that right foot back, and then step the left foot forward. Engaging that back leg. Easy twist over the left leg. Back to center, stepping the left foot back. And then we will once again step our right foot to the front. This time placing your left knee down onto the mat, untucking the toes, coming up onto our fingertips, chest over that front thigh, sinking not just forward, but maybe getting the sensation of your hips and pelvis sinking downward as well. Runner's lunge. To observe where you're feeling this pose. And then as you inhale, rise and then straighten the front leg, flexing the front toes towards your face. We're in your half splits. And in half splits, what really helps sometimes is just getting the floor closer to you. So if you have any blocks, you can place your hands onto your blocks on either side of that foot. The further away you move your blocks, the more of the sensation you'll probably notice in your hamstring. Gently folding that chest over that front leg. No need to force it. And then on your next exhale, remove the blocks. And we'll move back into our plank position. This time, step the left foot forward. Back knee down, back toes untucked. Coming onto the fingertips, pulling the chest towards that front thigh. As you slightly draw your chest forward, maybe also energetically drawing your hips and your pelvis downward. Just notice where you might be feeling this. I certainly feel it in my hips. Rise, straighten that front leg, flex the toes towards the face. Blocks or no blocks, hands on either side of that foot. Gently folding over that front leg. Now on your next exhale, release the pose, moving aside the blocks if you have them. And stepping that left foot back to meet the right, and then push back to downward dog. If this is your first downward dog today, there's a good chance it is. Let's get some movement, pedaling out the feet, bending into the left knee, bending into the right. And settling in. Notice here if one side feels different than the other. We're not perfectly symmetrical, so if you're noticing differences, then you're human. We'll inhale our right leg up. And exhale, pull that leg through, step it forward. Your back foot goes at a 45-degree angle relative to the back of your mat, finding your warrior one legs. Inhale to rise, arms on either side of your ears. Shoulders, chest pointed forward, hips pointing forward. Equal weight in both your back leg and your front. Your exhale brings you back onto the mat. Step back to downward dog. Raise the left leg. Pull it through to the top of the mat. Right foot is now your back foot, placing at a 45-degree angle. Rise up, warrior one. Find that nice 90-degree bend in your front leg to the extent that you can. Arms framing either side of your face. On your next exhale, hands back down onto the mat. Step the left foot back into your plank. Totally optional vinyasa here. Or if you're choosing to skip this, we'll all meet back in downward dog. In your vinyasa, you're going to shift your weight forward. You can do this on your knees too. That's more accessible. Belly, chest down towards the mat. Sliding the belly, the chest through your arms, untucking the toes, squeezing the shoulder blades. Exhale, push onto all fours, and then back to downward facing dog. Take a breath in your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left. Inhale, lift the right foot. Exhale, push the leg through. Rise up into warrior one. On your next inhale, draw your hands to the center of your chest, and then see if you can pick the back heel up. Now you're in your crescent legs, both of your feet pointing towards the front of your mat. And then as you exhale, turn your torso over that bent right leg, and then take your left elbow and place it outside of your right thigh. Now you'll know pretty quickly here if this is a pose for you today, or if by placing your knee down, this is the pose for you today. So find what your body needs and go there. In either case, your hands are pressing firmly into each other, which helps give you leverage to open your chest towards the sky. As you inhale, be lengthening your spine. As you exhale, deepening that twist ever so slightly. Return to center and place your hands on either sides of your front foot. If your knee is down on the mat, pick it up. And then place your back foot back at that 45-degree angle, the same warrior one legs you had before. This time, straighten your front leg. And a few options here for your pyramid pose. You can either place blocks on either side of that leg, and then fold over. Or if you're wanting a little bit more core engagement today, you can take your hands and take a hold of opposite elbows behind your back. You can place your palms together behind your back in a reverse prayer. Either way, find the pose that works for you. And we'll all fold over that front leg into our pyramid pose. Deep, slow breath in. Exhale it out. There's a reminder for you to reconnect to your breath if you've lost it. Your next exhale draws you back up. Engage the core to rise. And then we'll place the hands back onto the mat. Step the right foot back. Optional vinyasa here. Bending the elbows. Pulling the chest through the arms. Untucking the toes. Thighs can be lifted or onto the mat. If they're lifted, it's upward facing dog. If they're onto the mat, it's cobra. And then push back into your downward facing dog. One full breath in downward dog. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, pull that leg through, step it forward. Back foot at a 45-degree angle. Rise into your warrior one. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Notice where you're distributing the weight in either of your legs, trying to create balance in your weight distribution. As you exhale, draw your hands to heart center, turning your torso over that left leg. Picking up that back heel, turning onto those toes, and then placing your right elbow outside of that left thigh. Remember, there's always the option here to go down onto your back knee. If that's more accessible, do what works for you. Pressing the palms firmly together, helping you open and expand your chest just a little bit more towards the sky. As you inhale, feel your spine lengthening. As you exhale, maybe deepen the twist. Inhale back to center, placing the hands onto the mat. If your back knee was down, lift the back knee, and then step that foot a little bit forward, back into your warrior one leg, and this time straighten that front leg. Take the same arm variation in your pyramid as you did on the other side, either hands on blocks, behind your back, grabbing opposite elbows, or in a reverse prayer. Engage the front thigh, the quad, and the glute as you fold over. Inhale to rise, engaging that core. Then hands down onto the mat. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Optional vinyasa will all meet in downward facing dog. Stay in your downward dog here, or you can rest in your child's pose, placing your knees onto the mat, big toes touching, your hips resting onto your heels, reconnecting to your breath here. Inhale brings you back up. We'll all meet in downward dog. And then go ahead and walk, step, or jump to the top of your mat. Your feet meeting your hands, forward fold. Inhale, rising, arms reaching above you. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release your hands by your sides. Close your eyes for a moment. Stand and feel, observing your body. Observe your mind. Observe your breath. Open your eyes. And we're going to move into our dancer's pose. So really root into that left leg, feeling literally the earth, the floor, under all four corners of your left foot here. And then bend your right knee. Use your right arm to take a hold of the inside of that right foot. And you might want to bend your left knee just a little bit here to help you stabilize and not completely lock out that left knee. As you start to move your chest forward, really kick that right foot into that right hand, which actually is going to help shift your chest forward. And then your left arm is going to reach out long in front of you. Deep breath in here. If you fall out, no big deal. Just come back into it. Now on your next exhale, release, come back up, and then take a rest if you need to, but maybe here you see if you can just continue on and place your right sole of your foot either onto that left ankle or left thigh. Whatever you do, don't place it onto the knee. So above or below is fine. And we'll find our tree pose here. Maybe arms are lengthening past your ears, but only if you feel stabilized in your legs. Feel the extension of your spine. As you exhale, draw your hands to the center of your chest and then release that right leg. Start to reach that right leg back, bending into your left knee, taking that right foot back, flexing the right foot. It's as if you're stamping the back wall with that foot. And then here you can stay in your warrior three with palms the center of your chest. Or if you want more support, you take those blocks and place them on either side of your leg. Your supported warrior three. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Keep flexing that right foot back. Maybe finding a sense of balance. Imagining your body like a seesaw, with your torso and your head being one end of the seesaw and your right foot being the other end. See where you can distribute the weight to even out this pose. And then on your next exhale, step that right foot back, hands onto the mat, back to downward dog. Deep full breath in your downward dog. Notice if you feel different on one side versus the other. On your next exhale, walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, rising, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do the other side now. Root into that right leg, feeling your foot on all four corners, touching the mat, touching the floor. Inhale, bend your left knee. Take that left hand, take a hold of the inside of that left foot, and then start to kick that left foot into that left hand, lengthening your chest forward, right arm out long in front of you. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale. You can drop your foot onto the mat or keep going. Pick up that left knee, taking the left sole of the foot and placing it onto your thigh or onto your ankle, your tree pose. Hands can be at heart center. If you're feeling steady and stable, lengthen the arms, grow your tree. Either way, keep breathing here. You're doing great. You look fabulous. Big, strong tree. Draw the hands back to heart center. Lift that left knee. Take that left foot back, moving your chest towards the mat. Keep going here with hands at heart center, or if you need a little bit more support, blocks on either side of your front foot. Pressing both feet actually in either direction. Your right foot firmly rooted into the ground. Your left foot pushing back as if you want to touch the back wall. You're doing great here. Breathe through the challenging spaces. And as you exhale, land that back foot gently into your crescent lunge. Hands onto the mat. Step the right foot back and push back to downward dog. Option to rest here in child's pose as well. Reconnecting to your breath here. Just notice if anything's shifted in your body. If you're now aware of something in your body that you weren't aware of before. Breathe into the belly. And the breath helping us find a little bit more balance, a little bit more ease when we're in a tricky or challenging situation. And whenever you're ready, come up to seated. And we'll extend our legs out long in front of us. Bend into your right knee, placing that right foot outside of the left thigh. Flex the left toes towards your face. Take your right arm, place it behind you next to your sacrum, and turn your chest, your torso towards that right thigh. With your left arm, you can either hug that right knee closer to your chest, or you can take it and place it outside of that right thigh, gently pressing that left elbow into the right thigh to help you both lengthen and twist. Inhale brings you back to center. Undo your right foot, extending it out long. Now take your left foot and place it outside of the right thigh. Now your right toes are flexing towards your face. Left arm reaches behind you, placing it next to your sacrum, starting to turn that belly, your chest towards your right thigh. Right arm can hug the left knee in closer to your chest, or you can take it outside of that left thigh, helping you lengthen your spine and deepen your twist. Inhale back to center, extending both legs out long in front of you, maybe shaking out the thighs a little bit, patting them onto the ground. Place your hands behind your hips, and you can start by just placing your feet flat onto the mat. On your next inhale, push your hips up, squeezing the shoulder blades together into your reverse tabletop. You can stay here, or if you're wanting a bit more of a core hip challenge, you can straighten the front. You can straighten the legs, pressing both feet into the mat, pushing those hips up. Engaging your core, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Your head can drop back, but only if you feel no strain in that neck. One more breath, push those hips higher, and then exhale, sit back down. Inhale, flexing the toes towards your face, lifting the arms up. Exhale, get the sensation of your chest moving towards those toes, and resist the need to reach and grab for those toes, which might cause you to arch your upper back. So focus on the chest moving towards those toes, and then taking a hold of your feet, your ankles. If you have a strap, you can so use that, wrapping the strap around your feet, and then folding the chest over those thighs. Inhale, draws your chest back up. Release the feet. Shake out the legs if you need to. And roll yourself onto your mat. Come to lying down. Bend your knees, placing your feet flat onto the mat. Your feet can be positioned where your middle fingers are just grazing those heels. And then as you inhale, push your hips up to the sky. Maybe rolling your shoulders underneath you into your bridge pose. Squeeze the knees towards each other. Squeeze the thighs. Squeeze the butt. Engage your lower body here. You push your hips up just maybe 1 inch higher. And as you exhale, gently come back down. And just bridge one more time. And if you're wanting more of a restorative version, if you have your block, you can place that block where your sacrum is, and that block just helps provide more support in your bridge pose. So this time we'll try that. Inhale, pressing the hips up towards the sky, tucking that block where your sacrum is. That's basically right above your butt, where your tailbone is. And then just rest onto that block if you're using it. Same sensation, squeezing the shoulder blades together, pressing the hips up. As you exhale, release the block if you have it. Come back onto the mat. Legs out long in front of you. Take a breath here. Inhale. Exhale it out. Bend into that left leg, placing the left foot onto the mat. And then cross that right ankle over the left thigh, flexing the right foot. Take your hands and clasp them behind your left thigh, lifting the left leg. You're using your hands to gently pull the left thigh towards your chest, and then using your right forearm to gently press the right thigh away from you. Observe where you're feeling this. Exhale, release. Legs out long, just for a moment. And this time, bend into your right knee, crossing that left ankle over the right thigh, flexing that left foot. Lift the right foot, clasp the hands behind the right thigh, flex the right foot. Use those hands to gently draw the right thigh towards your chest while using your left forearm to gently press the left thigh away. Breathe here. Exhale, release the left foot from the right leg. Extend the legs out long. As you inhale, lift your arms, extending past your ears, stretching out long in all your limbs. Reach with the toes, reach with the hands. And exhale. Just let everything go. Arms by your sides. And take any last poses you need to here to feel fully at home in your resting pose. And I invite you to start closing your eyes, dropping back into your body. finding rest, finding comfort, finding balance. You can rest here for as long as you'd like. If you're ready to move on, I just want to thank you for practicing with me today. It is an honor to be able to guide you through a practice that hopefully leaves you feeling more balance, more ease, and able to help you and support you, nourish you for the day ahead of you. Namaste.